Does anyone else think that like Darren DeVries is just quietly building one of the best front courts in the entire Big Ten, maybe the entire nation? While the national media, right, just keeps kind of sleeping on Indiana because they're too busy hyping up the usual SEC suspects, right? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments because I want to hear where you stand on this. Because I got to tell you, man, I got to tell you, I sat down to record this episode. I'm still buzzing. I'm still excited because Indiana basketball just dropped another bombshell in the transfer portal today. Actually, three of them. If you caught my last video, the one where I broke down those three big additions of Marcus Burton, Jaden Mustaf, and Darren Harris, you can find the link for that one down below in the comment if you want to see it. I was already fired up about the direction that Darren DeVries is taking this thing. Well, they've gotten even better players now, in my opinion. And so since that video went up, the Hoosiers have gone out and landed three more studs. Alabama big man Aiden Sherrell, Villanova guard Bryce Lindsay, and SMU center Samet Yigitoglu, I believe is how you pronounce it. Yigitoglu. That's six transfers in total now, and it feels like we're not just patching holes anymore, right? Indiana is building something that could actually compete in the new look Big Ten. This is exactly the kind of deep dive outlier breakdown you come to expect from the Big Ten Huddle. While the national media is out here focusing on the SEC, this, that, and the other, our top 25 has got all this, that, and the other. We're talking narratives. And not focusing on the false narratives they are about which conference and stuff like that. We're here giving you the unfiltered truth about what's happening in the Big Ten. And right now, Indiana just pulled off something special. The most national outlets probably are going to downplay it a little bit, but let's start by actually giving them their props and talking about one of the best ads and the best ad in the class so far. That's Aiden Sherrell. This 6'11" forward out of Alabama committed after a quick visit over the weekend in Indiana, or not even the weekend, I believe it was on Tuesday, and Indiana beat out everybody. There were teams rumored to be involved like LSU, Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina, Missouri, you name it. I mean, pretty much anybody who had an open spot for a center or a power forward was out there looking at Sherrell. Sherrell was a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school, but he's been on a mission to get better every single year. As a freshman, he was just a role guy, 3.4 points, 2.8 rebounds. Last season as a sophomore, dude averaged 11.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.2 blocks per game. A per 40 minutes, we're looking at 18.7 points, 10.3 points, and 3.7 blocks. That's not just improvement, that's a complete transformation. What I love about Sherrell is that he's still got the true big man feel, but with real versatility. He's a pick and roll monster, a lob threat who finishes above the rim with length and physicality. He's not posting up 20 times a game, and that fits Darren DeVries, but when he gets the position, he's strong enough with his body to know how to use it. And yeah, he can pop out, knock down the threes as well. Shot nearly 34% from deep last season. Not a volume type of guy, but enough to keep defenses honest and have to be able to stick with him out there. Defensively, he was third in the SEC in block rate and 14th nationally in total blocks. 2 years of eligibility left, ranked number 13 overall in the portal. This is the elite front court piece Indiana desperately needed after last season. And you pair him with Marcus Burton in the ball screen in type of action that you're going to have up top of the key, you're going to see some serious chemistry. And let's be real, landing a guy like this against blue blood programs is the type of win national media loves to try and ignore because they hate the Big Ten. They hate the Big Ten praise that they get, but we're not afraid to praise the Big Ten. We're not afraid to praise Indiana basketball over here. And they make that front court downright scary. They go out and they grab the front court pairing of Samet. Get it here. Sorry about that. They get Samet from SMU, 7'2", 265 pounds, straight out of Turkey. This one kind of came out of nowhere on Tuesday night, but it makes perfect sense. He averaged 10.7 points and 7.9 rebounds in 29 minutes per game this past season. Shot nearly 63% from the field and led the way with 7 double-doubles. His offensive rebounding, he was third in the ACC in offensive rebounding rate. His rim protection was 9th in block rate, and he's a classic old school big who lives around the basket. 75% of his shots at the rim, finishes with a ridiculous clip, and he's a lob threat every single time he's down the floor as well. What's cool is how he fits next to Sherrell. Samet is not stretching the floor. He's camped out in the paint 99% of the time. So Sherrell can play the stretch four role in some cases and give you some spacing as well. Honestly, I don't want to make the comparison here, but I'm just saying the play style. Think of Anthony Davis vibes a little bit with Sherrell, sliding between the 4, the 5, depending on the lineup, and that's what he really wanted to do. Obviously, the rumors were going crazy that Sherrell would have committed to Indiana, but it wasn't happening there for a couple days, and it was because he didn't want to be the only guy down low. DeVries and Ryan Carr knew that, so they went out, and in order to get Sherrell, they went out and got Samet. Masterful move by Ryan Carr. This is huge stuff, not only for him to do it, but to do it so fast and so efficiently as well. Ryan Carr knows Sherrell and Samet are two trees who are going to protect the rim and crash the glass and give Indiana something special down low that they simply did not have last season. Last season, the Hoosiers were one of the weakest front courts in the country. Step one was landing a centerpiece like Sherrell. Step two was adding this massive body to create a front court that would actually impose on both ends. And then, just to make sure the perimeter isn't forgotten, you went out and you added Bryce Lindsay out of Villanova. That's right. Bryce Lindsay, the sharpshooter extraordinaire, without even stepping a foot on campus. They had a Zoom call, and DeVries locked it in. Ryan Carr locked it in. Him and the staff get the 6'3" guard from Baltimore, who dropped 12.3 points a game this season, shot 35.6% from three, and was knocking down over 2.4 threes to be exact, per game. Career numbers are even better too. 37.7% from deep, 65% of his shot attempts have come from beyond the arc across his stops at Texas A&M, James Madison, Villanova. This dude is a sniper. Lindsay's not coming in to be a primary ball handler. He's a movement shooter who lives off screens, finds soft spots on the floor, and lets it fly with quick, confident release. And if you're honestly like coming off a screen from Samet, sounds pretty awesome if you ask me. He's got a quick release, high IQ, knows how to use screens to get open. DeVries wants to push tempo, so Lindsay's going to be lethal running the wing in transition and spotting up to catch and shoot threes. Defensively, he's got the size, but he'll have to buy in on the physical stuff as well. That's the one question mark with him. Can he handle the physicality of the Big Ten? But his job is clear. Space the floor, knock down shots. With Darren Harris and Jaden Mustaf already in the mix, Indiana suddenly has that three plus perimeter threats who can stretch defenses and open driving lanes for Burton and the bigs. And Sherrell can shoot the three, like I said, as well. He's enough to be a threat from out there. Look, when you step back and look at the portal class, Burton, Mustaf, Harris, Sherrell, Samet, and Lindsay, it's wild how well they all fit together. It's wild how good of a job Darren DeVries and Ryan Carr, maybe just Ryan Carr, I don't even know, probably Ryan Carr did at this point. You've got guard play that can create, shooting that can punish, help defense, and now a front court that can dominate the paint, rebounding like crazy, protect the rim. The backcourt might still need a little depth, but the foundation is there, and there's plenty of time to add more depth through the transfer portal. Indiana went 2-2 with the blue blood programs, or toe-to-toe, I apologize, with the blue blood programs for Sherrell and still got him. That says something about the momentum of Darren DeVries and that he has right now. I'm not saying this roster's finished or that it's perfect or anything like that, or that they're guaranteed to make the Sweet 16 or anything. But man, after last season, this feels like night and day. This feels like a breath of fresh air for Hoosier fans. The front court was a weakness. Now might be the biggest strength, might be one of the best front courts in the country. This spacing was an issue. Now you've got shooters who can actually stretch it, move off the ball, because that was one of the issues you had last year. I'm excited for it all. And if you're a Hoosier fan, you should be excited too. Let's look at that transfer portal class one more time. It's just so beautiful for you guys. Let me throw another one at you with a comment right now. Which addition do you think is the most underrated? Sherrell, Samet, or Lindsay? And do you believe this front court duo of Sherrell and Samet can be one of the best in the country? Debate it below. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What position groups are you most excited about with this new group? And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're going to be all over this roster and the rosters in the Big Ten as they keep coming together. As always, thank you for hanging out with me here at the Big Ten Huddle.